So after I hauled that load of gravel this morning, I come out here and I start working on my electric line that keeps filling up with water because it rains so much. But I ran into another issue: the water line, or the electric line, where it goes underneath the building here, where I originally was going to run it. There is a pipe where the pipe comes up there. I cut that off too short. So I think when it's rained really hard, the water's run up underneath this building and ran into the pipe. So there's a piece I cut off before we put the building here. I should have left a little more of that. And so therefore, all this water that's down in here came out of this pipe that the electrical line's in. So what I'm doing, I can't get enough slack to come out of that piece underneath there to, there's plenty of wire here. Can't get enough slack to pull this up out of this pipe. So I'm prying the pipe over so I can cut the side of this pipe along here and get this out of here so I can get a hold of it and pull the slack out so I can get these pieces all put in and get this line up into the inside of this building. As you can see, I've dug this out like 3 times now because it keeps raining, but hopefully this will be the last time. I just gotta go in there and I got a hole on the inside. It's got mud all over my boots now, but here's the old hole I drilled on the inside. It's gonna come up the wall to this breaker box I gotta stick up there. So this is what I got going on. Had to figure out how to cut that all the way around by cutting the wire. I hope I didn't cut the wire. There's I could tell I didn't, but try this over with the shovel. Can't get no slack out of this end to pull it out of here. The wire won't pull through there, so I can just pull it up. So I'm gonna have to slip this thing all the way from end to end. So I'm gonna try to pry it over. I brought my saw, so I'm gonna try to. Should have brought my oscillating saw, but brought my saw, so I'm gonna see if I can cut it with it all the way down the line. I cut it with the hacksaw that far, but get my saw and just go for the gusto here. For some reason, there's tons of mosquitoes around here. Well, no figure, it's been raining so much all the time. I suppose there's gotta be water sitting somewhere that they're in. Probably in the stock tanks. We have one stock tank out east for the heifers, so could be in that one. And there we have it. For the most part, I guess I missed a little spot there, but no biggie. I don't think. But they're not. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. There's that. Not. I don't see anywhere that I cut through my wire. It's not far enough to go through it anyway. Hopefully, now I should be able to pull this out of here. Guess I'll check and see if you can actually see what's going on. So I'm gonna try to feed all this wire back through here. So, I did put a few nicks in my wire, but nothing that went all the way through it, so that's good. It's going to be back in the conduit again. Just some nicks in the plastic there. Yeah, definitely easier said than done. I'd cut this off, but when I got it far enough, but the problem is, I don't know what far enough is, and it's really expensive wire, so you don't want to cut, and it's, it could be, you could be able to keep a long piece of it you can use for something else. It's wire, it's good enough for 220. Mosquitoes trying to get me again. Nothing like having a bunch of mosquitoes trying to get you in the middle of the day. wear me out. I may have to go get off and spray myself down with some off. I spray my ankles and my socks every day. Anytime I walk in grass, to keep from getting chiggers. Let's see, it's about August. I haven't had to spray myself for mosquitoes. This will be a first. Let's say that's a way, I work way harder at home than I do my day job. Physically. We're almost there. Here's the end. We almost got her through. Originally, I was going to run this underneath and realized that was just going to be too difficult. So, this hadn't been no easy thing either, but it's doable. I don't think underneath was going to actually be doable. Not in my mind, anyway. The building sets too low. There we go. And it's through. Or it's out. Well, gotta figure out where to cut some pipes, start gluing. There's this one's still got water in it. Hoping get it good enough to So it's about 5 o'clock in the evening. I'm pretty wore out, but I'll show you what I got done. I got it all, the wiring all up into the building. I'll show you what I got going on. A little final finale here. So there's the start. Elbow there, streak line there, that one there. And then up, another elbow up into the wall. And there should be just like another collar on this side to kind of keep mice and stuff. Kind of fits over the hole that I made for the pipe, kind of keep the mice from getting up in there. And I might put another, you know, maybe not. Might put another wire or another conduit to that up to the box. I'm not sure yet if I really need that or not. But that's pretty much all she wrote. I'm gonna call it quits for this evening. I was gonna go work on the fence, but I'm pretty wore out. The bending over and stuff just kind of kills my back. So seems like all I've done for the last 2 days is bend over doing something. So anyhow, James here. You're watching The Poor Farm. If you like these videos, hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.